Well, hello everyone. This is Lawrence making another video. This kind of ties into my last video of the topic of getting out of your musical comfort zone and venturing into other genres of music. And I hope you can watch that video. It's mainly focused on jazz music, and if you never explored jazz, to go over there and well, it has a long, rich history and really too much to bite on. You could start and uh, for that video, I was kind of focused on if I was talking to a rock guitarist and they say, I want to listen to something else, something new. I kind of steered them toward. I would steer them towards jazz guitar, and I listed um, the great jazz guitarists and some links. Anyway, um, about 2 weeks ago, I went to the thrift store to look for used CDs, and I do post a lot of thrift store CD find videos on my page. And holy cow, I scored a treasure trove of jazz CDs, and a lot of them are compilation box sets of the great of jazz, and I'm going to show them all off. So this was wonderful, and these are on major labels, well put together compilations and individual releases. So I'm going to take a breath for a minute and come back and we'll get started. The first fine selection is the great Duke Ellington, and this is a 3 CD box set, the Essential Collection, 1927 to 1962, right here, and 25 songs the first CD, 20 the next, and 21 the next. This is on Columbia Legacy. Okay, the Legacy is part of the historical recordings of the Columbia label. And what I'm going to show you, most of them have these really nice thick books with historical archive photos and write-ups by the noted jazz critics and historians. And while Duke Ellington put out much more work, Legacy just decided to consolidate to 3 CDs that contains some of his best compositions and recordings throughout the period of his life. And pull this out, a nice picture of Duke Ellington, kind of a famous picture. 3 CDs, but one of them is in the CD player. So this, while I have a lot of music on by Duke Ellington on album and CD, this is a nice collection. We'll move on to the next one. One of the great innovators of jazz and its development is John Coltrane. I'm sure you heard the name before, but jazz is a music form that doesn't really get played on the radio except for your stations that are far on the left side of the dial, maybe a public radio station, and they'll play jazz late at night. But John Coltrane, this is a package put together. It's called Legacy. See there? And this particular set was put together by his son, who's a noted musician himself, and his wife, who's also a noted musician. And this contains 4 CDs and also a very nice booklet with all the pictures and liner notes and historical write-ups and everything. And the important thing with buying jazz CDs or albums collections is for each track listing, they include the date of the sessions and who played on them, because jazz was a tight community where it was very weird, or not weird, but different than popular music or rock. I mean, sure, Eric Clapton played with George Harrison on his song While My Guitar Gently. There was a lot of that going on, but it was more so with jazz. So big noted musicians playing on other artists' albums and all that. So having the booklets with that information is good. This is a 4 CD set, and I already listened to it. And John Coltrane, like I said, was an innovator in jazz. He was more like a painter, than just playing nice tunes. I mean, he could play pieces straight, but he could improvise. He could make the horn, the sax brass instrument he was playing. He can twist the notes and make them squeak and holler, and really put an artistical expression to them. So this is a very good set to have. More Coltrane. It was a Coltrane Bonanza fine here. And this one is the complete 1961 Village Vanguard recordings, okay? And Village Vanguard recordings. I'm just looking through this book real quick. I guess the Vanguard was like a jazz club. You see, I feel kind of naked because I don't really know my jazz in depth, because I started listening to jazz starting in the 1990s. And what I've discovered, jazz is a 100-year plus history with so much development and so many artists and so many nuances. It's like a universe. So I'm still learning. Like I said, the Village Vanguard, I think, was a jazz club, and Coltrane must have had a residency there during that time. I'm going to feel so embarrassed if that's not true. But this is a 4 CD collection with the booklet as well. So I'm going to really enjoy listening to this collection. And this is on the Impulse label, as was the Legacy Coltrane set I just showed you. Let's get all the Coltranes out of the way now. We got individual albums by John Coltrane, and the ones I'm going to show you are some of his most adventurous work. Coltrane live at Birdland. I tell you what, I've already listened to this, and for rock fans, this is almost like a rock album. It's bombastic. It's experimental, and they play for keeps. Let's just say, and this was recorded live at Birdland. So Birdland is a jazz club. October 8th, 1963. That was in the historical content. That was a little over a month before JFK was assassinated, and and at a studio, Cliff, New Jersey, March 6th, the bonus track and other tracks. Anyway, this is fantastic. Duke Ellington and John Coltrane, a lot of these jazz musicians would make an album together, and this was one they did together right here. Haven't heard this one yet. Stellar Regions. John Coltrane was very experimental, and I think this is the last album he recorded before his death. It's called Interstellar Space, and it's just him with the saxophone and the drummer. Okay, I think we got the Coltrane's out of the way. Thelonious Monk, if I pronounce his name right here, and he was a pianist, jazz pianist, composer, and this is the Thelonious Monk, the Columbia years, 1962 to 1968. And it's 3 CDs, and it has the booklet. Very good, very good. Trying to put this back in the box. Back in the box. I'll finish that later. I'm trying to get all the people who the artists who did work on the saxophone as their primary instrument. One of the founding fathers of jazz. In fact, you could say he is jazz. Louis Armstrong. This is a 4 CD set, the complete RCA Victor years, and these recordings go back to the 1920s, 30s, and 40s. And I'm looking forward to listening to this. It does have the booklet right there, historical photos and texts. And when I listen to Louis Armstrong, it always puts a smile on my face. I mean, he has that, hello, that sound that makes you smile, and he has that makes me smile because he's smiling. He has that, that really big grin, smile, and his teeth are showing, and he's taking a handkerchief and wiping a sweat off his forehead, and he has that really bouncy, horn sound. So this is great. Speaking of Louis and the giants of jazz recording together, making an album, this is called The Great Summit, Louis Armstrong and Duke Ellington. And this is an extended addition to that album where you get a bonus CD with all the outtakes and stuff that didn't make it onto the album. And this is a very renowned album, so I'm looking forward to listening to this. Switching to an artist who was primarily a bass player, the upright bass, band leader and composer, and civil rights activist, and that's Charles Mingus. And I got 3. I've got some of his noted albums in my collection already, but here are 3 more. Mingus, Blues and Roots. Mingus the Clown, and I got inserted the booklet the wrong way. It should be this way. So, Mingus the Clown and Mingus Aha. Okay. You get some weird sounds out of his music. You know, stuff like film noir type of music, chants, and things just come charging at you. I think a lot of rock and rollers would enjoy his music because, you know, there are places in it, it's just downright bombastic. And, you know, he's just incredible. Let's see what else we got here. We're almost done. Talking about the early New Orleans jazz, where you know, jazz was formed and developed. I mean, it came out of West Africa and to the Caribbean. It has classical traditions in it as well. But when it finally hit New Orleans, it just took off. But Sidney Bechet, and you know, has that New Orleans type of jazz style. This is part of the Ken Burns jazz series release on CD. So I haven't had, except for a few albums, I don't have any of Sidney's works on CD. Okay, the last one, and it's not jazz, okay, but it was with the Thrift Store jazz albums, and this is totally different. This is the Essential Johnny Cash, 1956 to 1983, right there. 3 CDs, but one of the CDs was missing. And when I went up to the register, I changed my mind about this, and there's a CD missing, but if you could give me a discount, I will buy it. So it was $2. They knocked $1 off. So I went ahead and got it. And I've probably, since I have a large Johnny Cash collection on CD, I probably got all the songs on the CD that was missing. So I hope you enjoyed that video. This was a great treasure trove find. And you know, all these CDs retail, if you went out and brought them retail back in the day, because they're compilations, almost box sets, altogether, that's about $300 worth of music there. And I got each selection 2 for $3. So you do the math on that. I just love jazz. It's a great form of music to get into. It's just too big to take it all in. I could talk more about, you know, rock and pop music, but jazz, just so many players, so many different aspects of it, and its development, its history. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I would like to get some viewers, okay? I'm not after a lot. I like to keep this YouTube page a small community. So, you know, I appreciate anyone who watches. If you could leave just a short comment, that would be great. Tell your friends about my YouTube channel as well. I want to thank everyone so much. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Y'all come back now, you hear?